number 102 of the KH-Vids Podcast. It's so weird saying 3 digits there. Welcome to episode number 102 of the KH-Vids Podcast. This week you have with us your usual hosts of myself, Misty.
And me, libregkd.
And me, Calxiyn.
As our member guest, we have
Glen.
Yay! So, first off, I want to address some, slander made against my character on the previous episode of the podcast.
If I remember correctly, I said you just had better things to do.
Yeah, well,
which
that
did.
Is true. I did have better things to do. I was on vacation last week, or actually I was not on vacation the day that we left, but I was packing, and I had to leave in the morning, so I sat out from the podcast. I hope you all enjoyed the experience of not having me on a podcast. I think
it was interesting.
Yeah, I did listen to the podcast, of course, because I don't just do this for myself, contrary to what people might believe. And I felt a little bad that I wasn't there. Like, there were points where I'm like, and I wanted to say something, but obviously I couldn't. I mean, I could, but then I would be talking to myself, and that would just be weird.
Instead, you just take a bunch of notes.
Yeah, so I took a bunch of notes, and I did post my comments in the podcast thread, so you can read them if you want to. And but yeah, it was really interesting to hear Nick host and kind of the, I guess, atmosphere without me there. I do believe that I bring a certain panache to the KH-Vids Podcast. But it's always it's always cool to see what happens in that vacuum, in that panache vacuum. So I think that it'll be a fun experiment for us in the future to, and we've talked about this before, to not have me host every episode. I mean, I would hope to be there on every episode going forward, but to let, like, Nick and Cal host episodes, I think that would be fun and interesting if they're down for it.
I think it would be fun, especially if we're hosting when, you're actually there.
Yes. Because I fully intend to be a belligerent and difficult guest when I'm not hosting. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what I'll bring to your hosting experience. And it's something that, like, you do get better at it with time. Like, not to say Nick did a bad job or anything, but he was saying to me, like, God, it was so weird, and, like, it's just something that you get used to, I think, and so it's fun to let them build that skill set. I don't know, I sound really conceited right now. I really don't intend that 90% of the time.
I mean, to be fair, I think you do a very good job at hosting the podcast.
You.
So
these unsolicited comments.
It was gonna be... Oh, sorry.
No,
I didn't know if it was gonna be Nick or me that was, like, taking over. So what I did was I went to one of the, I think it wasn't the last podcast, but the one before, and I tried to, like, write down your opening, and then I already had written down the thing for the user-submitted questions for some, like, odd reason, so I was prepared, and then Nick's like, alright, I'll do it. And I was just...
Yeah, because, I mean, to be fair, that wasn't my first time hosting.
Yes.
That was my second time. The first time was over a year ago, though, so, but...
See, but I was very, curious and excited to hear somebody do my user-submitted questions spiel, or the spiel that I do after it, where I, like, list every way.
I was so ready, man.
I was so disappointed that Nick didn't try.
No, I mean... Yeah, I wasn't even going to attempt that, because I don't think that I could do as good job of you, so I decided to do my own take on it.
Maybe we'll have to let Cal do it this episode,
yeah.
if you're okay with that, Cal.
Oh god, okay.
Just put her on the spotlight, like...
We plan these episodes far in advance. Okay, but we should probably talk about, like, what we're actually talking about this week instead of ourselves.
That might be a good idea, yeah.
Yeah, so we're talking about the D23 Expo, which was this past weekend. It is Disney's big expo, and we got some Kingdom Hearts news out of it, we got some general Disney news out of it, and we're going to be covering it all. Now, do you guys want to start with general Disney, or should we just dive right into Kingdom Hearts?
I'm pretty hyped to talk about Kingdom Hearts, to be honest.
Okay, so we're going to start with general Disney.
We start every podcast with Kingdom Hearts news. So.
That is true, yes. So it would be structurally...
sound.
Yes, sound to start with Kingdom Hearts. So that's what we'll do, because that's what I imagine most of you are here for. So the first, and probably the biggest, is Big Hero 6 being confirmed for Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, I want to just comment initially that I love the idea of Disney saying, we're gonna have big Kingdom Hearts news at D23, and then announcing Big Hero 6.
I wish somebody caught on to that, man. I mean, somebody probably did. It was like, yeah, See, I told you. They do this sometimes, you know. I had
Not
faith
gonna
in
lie.
myself.
When I heard it, I thought about making the same correlation, but it's I make some pretty bad jokes, but yeah.
It takes a special sort of mind to, like, for this to occur to it, but I think that it takes a special sort of person to vocalize it, and I am that special person
Yes,
this
you
week.
are a very special person, Cassie.
I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with me today. But yeah, so Big Hero 6 is our next confirmed world for Kingdom Hearts 3, so I guess that makes 3 or 4 worlds that we know will be in Kingdom Hearts 3. Mount Olympus, Tangled, Big Hero 6, and I guess Daybreak Town?
Or Twilight Town.
And
Twilight
yeah.
Town. Oh, that's true. Well, Twilight Town, probably.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was in the E3 trailer.
Yeah,
so...
I can't help but feel it was like a demo environment, like how a lot of the early Birth by Sleep trailers and screenshots were in Hollow Bastion, but in the Great Maw,
Yeah,
the
that's
area
true.
that we saw
But,
in Kingdom Hearts 2.
I mean, the one thing about it though, the Twilight Town model is different than the
Exactly.
other model. Like,
Yeah.
I think we mentioned this on the E3 podcast. Like the Twilight Town area, like that hole to the mansion is shut now.
Yes.
Or it's not even. It's not even. Here's the thing. It's not even just not there. It's just like it's physically. You can see it's physically like covered
Yeah.
because of reasons, I guess.
Yeah, so Twilight Town is a strong possibility. I just always have that, like,
Yeah.
in my brain,
No,
like,
yeah,
the
yeah.
worlds we see might not be the worlds that are there idea. Panic in my brain. But Big Hero 6 will be there, and that's really exciting. I think that was definitely an expected announcement for us, but it's still always nice, of course, to have confirmation on that. So, Square showed some concept art of Sora and Baymax fighting above San Francisco. Am I saying that right?
And Fransokyo, I think.
San
Yeah,
Francisco?
Fransokyo.
Yeah.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will also be Marvel's first appearance in the Kingdom Hearts series, which
Marvel
is...
being using like
Yeah,
lightly.
it's like...
It's
it's like
a
quasi-Marvel.
yeah, because I mean it's a Disney adaptation of a Marvel property,
Yes.
which it's weird to think about because that's like a Disney adaptation of a Disney property. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, the world is going to be set after the events of the movie, which is a huge thing for a lot of us that I think we're definitely going to talk about, where
Yes.
darkness is possessing the body that Baymax has left behind in the portal. I don't know what the
Yeah.
portal is. I
Yeah,
haven't
I-
seen Big
yeah, when
Hero
I-
6.
Yeah, when I made the news post, I tried not to be too spoiler heavy because
I mean, that's what they did say at the...
yeah.
Yes.
They-
The movie's been out for a while now.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
have
but-
an excuse here.
But yeah, I know. But still, I tried not to spoil it too much. So if you haven't really seen the movie, basically near the end of the movie, there's events that take place that portal to like I forgot exactly what it was a portal to. It was like another dimension or
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
So at the end of the movie, Baymax's original body gets left on that side because of circumstances. So it seems like the game is going with the concept like that body got possessed by darkness and is now back to terrorize San Francisco and
Okay.
stuff like that.
And that's definitely a very Kingdom Hearts plotline, and it is, of course, an original plotline, which is why it's like a Kingdom Heartsy thing, you know, like fighting
Yeah.
your dark side kind of thing. And we've spoken about it quite a bit on the podcast, but we've all been very much in favor of doing original plotlines rather than rehashing the plotlines of the movies. For a lot of reasons.
Yeah, because even in Kingdom Hearts 1, I think was done okay with the rehashing, because it was a lot of the time it was the same plot line and, you know, tweaks here and there to make it more
They
Kingdom
did do
Hearts-y.
rehashing, but they did also go in original directions a lot.
Yeah.
Like Atlantica was completely original.
I'm trying to figure out how to
It still
phrase
like
this.
fit in with kind of
Yeah.
the movie's plotline and of course the world that it was, but there were original things. I think that Kingdom
Yeah,
Hearts 2 kind of got a little lazy in some cases
'Cause,
where they
like-
did rehash a lot, but then you also made second visits to the worlds in Kingdom Hearts 2 where they kind of deviated a little.
Yeah.
I mean, I like them doing both, but I actually favor at least them doing after the events of the movie for Big Hero 6 better. And I don't know how in depth we're gonna get into this, but I wanted to mention that the Baymax that they left in the portal, from what I've been reading and everything, because I haven't actually seen the movie, apparently like Baymax has a healing health like companionship, because that's what he's supposed to be for. He's like, I don't know, a robot. I want to say a doctor type.
Yeah, his original like purpose was to be like a home healthcare robot.
And then there's also a combat chip that Hero like inserted into Baymax, and the one on the other side of the portal only has the combat chip in it because Hero took the health chip out of Baymax, or Baymax did. Hero has it somehow, so I was thinking about that, and like, so that's all that dark possessed Baymax will know is fighting, and I think that that's interesting. Especially if we're going down like the Xehanort possession kind of route.
So just watch the entire world build up to this massive confrontation between Baymax and this evil Baymax, and then Hero kind of just takes out the care thing from Baymax and just puts it into the evil one. So the regular Baymax just deactivates, and the evil one is just like, oh, I guess I'm a good guy now.
Hearing that, it sounds like
interesting.
It sounds even more like Kingdom Heartsy, like inserting the like heart element into the
it had
creature
a lot
and
of
having
things
that
related to it. It was really nicely done.
Yeah, so I think that could be a really interesting plotline for Kingdom Hearts 3. A lot of the worlds we've suggested, of course, will fit in with Kingdom Hearts because they're about like friendship. And that's just what Disney movies are, friendship, love, and family. So, like, any Disney movie would really fit in Kingdom Hearts. A lot of people were kind of underwhelmed by this announcement, though. I don't know if that was because they have particular feelings about Big Hero 6 that they don't feel it would fit with Kingdom Hearts, or if it's something that was just expected and they wanted more out of D23.
I feel a lot of it is that they are, because especially with the Tangled announcement at E3, I think a lot of people are disappointed that they're just going for recent stuff that Disney has done.
Okay.
Which, I mean, on one hand, I can sort of, like, okay, yeah, it would be neat to get more, older classics from Disney in Kingdom Hearts. But at the same time, it's like, it's cool that they are actually doing new worlds and using, newer Disney properties, because it's like, it's really trying to set Kingdom Hearts as like, hey, we are trying to make this as a sequel that is deserving, having waited like 10 years since Kingdom Hearts 2.
I agree, yeah, and this is 3 Disney worlds that we know of now in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yes.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm expecting a lot. Kingdom Hearts 2 had, I don't know a count, but I would put it at least like 15.
Yeah. I did the world speculation thread, and I think that I added them all together and divided them or something, and there was about like 12 in each game, so we only have 3 out of 12 like for Disney worlds, and there's only 3 that we know of now, and it might even have more than that. So I feel like people are getting a little bit too, I don't know, I guess worried about not getting their favorite worlds in the game, because there are still so many more just like using what we've seen in past games, and those were, again, most of those were consoles, and they were limited by like whatever it was, like the DS or the 3DS, and so I think that, they'll have more. But they want to make it as diverse as possible, and putting in, like, too many of, kind of, I guess, the same ones, if that makes any sense, sort of like how Frozen and Tangled were sort of similar, not only in, like, I know a lot of people complain about them looking similar, but it had a similar, almost like a feel to it, even though the landscape may be diverse. But I feel like announcing the Tangle world and then now having something so different like Big Hero 6, it's a good contrast, right? So people shouldn't be so worried. I mean, it was probably just a case of whatever else that they have in mind was too, like, similar to Tangled, and that's why they didn't announce it.
That is true. Like, as similar as Big Hero 6 and Tangled might be in terms of, like, release time frame and kind of eras of Disney, they're extremely diverse environments that we're going to see. Tangled, I haven't seen it again, but it seems like it's mostly like countryside-ish for the majority of the movie. I have not seen it, but Big Hero 6 is taking place in a city. And I think that'll be great to see realized in Kingdom Hearts 3 graphics. And, Frozen, I have mixed negative feelings about Frozen, but, like, again, it's a diverse environment that we get to see. That we get to see the snow area, which we haven't really seen in Kingdom Hearts, is, I guess, save for Land of Dragons.
Mulan, yeah.
And the Halloween Town when they went to
Christmas Town. I forgot about that.
Town.
Yeah, but
It will be really interesting though.
What will?
Well, in the reveal in the reveal trailer and everything. Oh, for Tangled, they showed that some of the spells interacted with the environment and stuff. Like, if they were in a frozen world, do you think they would have like patches of snow melting and stuff?
I hope so.
Because that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean, like, the grass is moving with you now, and there's so much, like, I think I even saw in the E3 trailer that stuff was getting wet when you were using, I think there was a couple of water attacks, not by Sora, but by the Heartless. So there's they could totally make stuff melt. Like, there's so much that they could do to have that interact with the environment.
I also loved in it was the trailer that they showed at E3, seeing Sora run up the wall in Olympus area, and so I think that Big Hero 6 has some nice opportunities to, like, run up buildings and jump around a little bit and kind of expands the sort of, like, parkour aspects that they're adding.
The thing that I'm actually really excited for Big Hero 6, gameplay-wise, is that Kingdom Hearts has never really had a urban environment.
Yeah.
They've had, like, towns, like, I guess the closest would be probably Twilight Town, that is kind of a more vertical than, like, Traverse Town and stuff like that. So it'd be really cool to actually see settings sort of like that realized in it. But I wonder how they decide to, like, what the decision process is in regards to revealing a world.
Well, I think that is definitely related to it. That, like we were saying, a lot of people are upset with the Big Hero 6 reveal because it's another recent Disney movie, but D23, I think, is the setting for that. That, like, if they're focusing in D23 on the future of Disney. And so to go into Disney's, like, recent past for Kingdom Hearts, I think makes sense. They wouldn't want to go, all the way back and say, like, oh, well, here's a obscure Disney movie from 20 years ago that we're adding into Kingdom Hearts. I don't think that would have much hype surrounding it. And not only that, but a lot of the people going to D23 might not be totally familiar with what Kingdom Hearts is. And so to say, like, well, the Kingdom Hearts games will have a Treasure Planet world, that wouldn't have hype for somebody that's, like, there to hear about
I hate
what's
that you
being
say that
added
because
to
I would
the
really
Disney
love
parks.
that.
Everybody wants a Treasure Planet world. Yeah, a Treasure Planet world would be
I
awesome.
find that so weird because, I mean, I haven't watched it myself, but apparently it didn't do well at the box office.
It didn't.
It
There
didn't
was
do
so
well.
many people, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it was robbed of some
It was
at the box office.
Consider the age group that's playing Kingdom Hearts games, or it's kind of the people that were kids when the first one came out, and that means that they would have been kids when Treasure Planet came out, so there's a high likelihood that they saw Treasure Planet, like, in the theater.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So it has, like, a sentimental aspect to
like,
it,
I mean,
think, for people in
Treasure
my
Planet
mix.
is just this kind of cult, like...
It is.
Cult hit. It's not even a hit, but it's a cult. It has a cult following,
and it's very, like, indicative of the era. Like, you look at the main character's, like, haircut, and he's, like, windsurfing around, and it's. I mean, like, you watched it as a kid, and you're like, I want to be this guy, or I want to be with this guy, and so it was a lot of that when we were youngins, and so I think a lot of people want it.
Yeah, from that, and I just think stylistically it's really neat.
That's
because
it has
that, it's a sci-fi thing, but it has a lot of classical, like the spaceships are literally just like old-timey ships that go in space. Yeah. But it's still such a cool visual. It has such a cool visual design to it that it would be really neat to see that.
Yeah, I recommend watching it.
It is diverse compared to the other things that they've announced so far.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody pointed
would be totally, like, fit in with, if they're trying to get the most diverse worlds as possible, that would be something for them to.
Like,
plus, it'd be a cool, like, ship world, like we had Neverland in Kingdom Hearts 1, and I feel like there's another one that's completely escaping me. Yeah, there's Deep Space. Never really felt like I was on a ship, though, to me. But, I think it would kind of call back to Neverland in Kingdom Hearts 1, where you're, like, on a ship and you have to treat that as your environment. But back to Big Hero 6, I think that also, looking at the concept art, it opens me up to the idea of aerial combat. And
Which-
there is a connective thread there, because I'm thinking, like, ships in the sky aerial combat. But,
Yeah.
I think that that's a really cool possibility for the Kingdom Hearts series, and something that we haven't really seen much at all before.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, because Kingdom Hearts 1 had it.
Yeah, to an extent.
It had it in Neverland, and it had it at the final boss area.
It was kind of horrible in the final boss
that's-
area,
that's- yeah, even in Netherland, it was kind of horrible.
Yeah, it was difficult. Like, it wasn't that hard to control, but just, like, it was finicky.
Yeah.
And to throw that, it's a weird decision to throw that at you for the final boss, because you kind of think that the final boss is the thing that you've been training for, like, throughout the whole game. So for them to, like, dig up this mechanic that you only learned fairly recently and that you haven't used much since you left that world, it's very weird. But go on, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, so that sort of makes me wonder how aerial combat would work in Kingdom Hearts 3. Because, I mean, obviously, if that's going to be a thing in that world, then it's something they really should work on and make it better than the other times they have attempted it.
Yes.
But on the other hand, I could see it being more of a cinematic type thing with, you know, like, how they have, like, have they named what, like, the flow motion is in Kingdom Hearts 3, or if it's still called flow motion, or if it's called something different, or... Do we know?
I don't think we know.
I don't think they've named it anything.
But like I could see like having that system of traversing a world be kind of implemented in an aerial situation where you aren't controlling it like 100%, but you still have this little bit of control to move around or hit something or something along those lines.
What if it was like the Kingdom Hearts 2 Agrabah?
That's what I was worried about.
I just thought about that.
Yeah, that would probably be even a worse thing.
I was just.
Hey, I didn't say it was a
because,
good idea. I was just saying.
somebody on Twitter, because I am looking. There's all these Kingdom Hearts people tweeting now, and I guess my mom was using the Twitter during D23, and so I was using mine too. And I guess all these Kingdom Hearts people followed me, so I followed them back. But somebody actually just said that looking at Baymax and Sora, they got some like horrible Kingdom Hearts 2 magic carpet flashbacks. I actually liked that, but I'm probably the only one in that same 1% that likes Atlantica in Kingdom Hearts.
I like Atlantica too, Cal. We can team up on that.
I would love it if one of these worlds that everybody's been waiting for gets announced and it just turns out to be a musical world.
Like Frozen.
Like, imagine...
That's gonna happen.
That will not happen for Frozen.
I know, but that's what they're saying, and I'm a little bit, like, concerned in that regard, because... I don't know. I feel like Frozen does not deserve the musical.
It doesn't deserve the Atlantica treatment, no.
No.
On the note of though the magic carpet thing, I like as not good that I feel about the Kingdom Hearts 2 magic carpet thing. I really liked the sequence in Kingdom Hearts 1 where the Cave of Wonders is falling apart and you have to fly the magic carpet out. I thought that was a really cool thing to have in the game. It was brief, but it was really neat. So maybe we could do something like that, you know, where you're not actively fighting Dark Baymax, but you're like dodging things and kind of flying away from him. Although that is starting to remind me of the motorcycle segments in Kingdom Hearts 2, which were
that was horrible.
Yeah, that was one of the hardest points.
I know,
they were hard.
And people were making fun of me, and I'm like, look, okay, I'm on critical mode, and trying to drive this motorcycle and not being able to heal, like, I'm not feeling this, man.
It's a challenge. It really is.
It was really hard, and then for the trophy or the journal completion, they want you to do it again, and I haven't done that yet, but I'm kind of like already loathing having to do that now.
Yeah. I think that also a lot of people's underwhelmed reaction to Big Hero 6 was confusion, because, and we've clarified this before, but I'll do it again, there are different D23 Expos. This one was in California, and this one was not really hyped up for Kingdom Hearts news at all. Like, I kind of wasn't expecting much of a mention at Kingdom Hearts
we learned that Kingdom Hearts was going to be added with a blog post.
Yes.
That they like, hey, and it wasn't even a Kingdom Hearts specific blog post. They just said, so we're going to hold a video game section, and it's going to have Disney Infinity, Battlefront, and Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, so I wasn't expecting anything big. I was expecting them to maybe, like, re-show the E3 trailer, and, like, I don't know, maybe do something, but I wasn't expecting anything big. The D23 Expo that they have been hyping up for Kingdom Hearts is the one in Japan, which will be in November. So if you were underwhelmed by this one, just know that there is like something else coming. I do think that the one in Japan will focus a lot on Unchained Key. Maybe we'll get another world reveal, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm as going back to what I said, I'm curious about the decisions, what decisions go into actually announcing a world.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, depending on when this game is actually going to get released, I wouldn't be surprised if every few months or so they said, oh, here's a new world that's going to be in Kingdom Hearts 3.
I'm actually expecting that because it seems like, and Nick, you mentioned this in the, I think the Big Hero 6 thread, that Disney seems to be taking a much more active role in Kingdom Hearts 3 than they ever have before. Probably the most indicative being that Roy Connolly, like, sat down and did these videos. It sounds like he's been very involved with how Tangled was portrayed in the E3 trailer and how it's being portrayed in the game, and I guess that probably goes the same for Big Hero 6. Yeah. So it really seems like Disney is finally acknowledging Kingdom Hearts, because before it's always been like the gross stepchild that they don't want to like talk about.
Maybe Connolly has a video already queued up for Treasure Planet because he worked on that.
I think he said that he'd be back again for something, and I know people are like Treasure Planet, but I'm just sitting here like, Hunchback, please save Hunchback, Roy Conley, because they need it.
Did he work on Hunchback?
He was a co-producer for it.
Okay.
And for me, I'm just like, I know you guys want the Treasure Planet, man, but let Hunchback redeem itself.
I mean, if we're going, maybe we'll get all of Connolly's produced works, because then
be great.
Because then that would be Hunchback, Treasure Planet, Tangled, and Big Hero 6.
It would only be fitting for, the ends of the Xehanort saga to be Roy Connolly's dominated game, because if you haven't watched the Roy Connolly videos yet, he looks like Master Xehanort.
He even has the beard. Like,
he does! Like, how many people are running around with that look?
Do you think they based the appearance of Xehanort on him, then?
Whoa. That's
They're just like, let's
accusation.
pick a random staff member and create a villain of all.
Kind of an homage to Roy Connolly, basing Master Xehanort off of him.
I mean, I think I've said this in a couple of chats, but I was saying that he has more Kingdom Hearts merchandise in, like, each video he's in, so I feel like eventually he just needs to show up in an Organization 13 coat.
Yeah, but that would be beautiful.
That's just me.
I wouldn't want him in an Organization 13 coat. I want him in the full, like, white Master Xehanort coat.
That'd be cool, too.
That would be badass.
I mean, I feel like he would totally be up for it, though.
He absolutely would.
Because he seems so into, like, doing the videos and everything, and...
And I like that Disney seems to be taking a more active role, because not only is that it's nice to see Disney acknowledge it, but I think that it'll be good as far as a press cycle is concerned, because I don't think that press is Square Enix's strong point. They did improve it, I think, for some reason, Dream Drop Distance, they were really hardcore, and they did well about, like, producing these short trailers and highlighting features and releasing screenshots. So maybe Square is getting their act together, but Disney's involvement definitely is positive for me.
Speaking of those things, I guess the other, going back a bit to people who are kind of disappointed with this particular announcement. Some of that disappointment probably also comes that we didn't get any new footage.
Yeah, that is true.
Which kind of bummed me out as well, because if you remember on a previous podcast, I was talking about maybe we'll get a short, like, 30-second world trailer.
Yeah.
Where we just get to see the world in action, but nothing much else. And we didn't really get that, which that's kind of... It would have been nice if we would have gotten to see Big Hero 6 actually, like, in motion. Even if it's just, like, early stuff.
And I agree with that. I do think that Kingdom Hearts 3 is in extremely early stages, and I'm not disappointed when they don't show footage from it. But D23 as an event, this past one, they didn't really show a lot of video. I know that the one other big thing that a lot of people have been talking about is there was no, Civil War trailer shown there. Yeah. And so, I mean, not to equate the two, but for some reason I don't think they really came to this event with video footage.
Yeah. So, but it's a minor, I mean, it's understandable, especially after E3 where we actually got, like, wow, we actually got a trailer. A pretty substantial trailer at that.
Yes.
So a lot of people thought, maybe they'll start showing at least clips of that game more often than they have been.
Yeah, so maybe it's possible at D23 Expo Japan in November
That's
that they will talk a lot about Unchained Key, and then maybe show a preview of the Big Hero 6 world. Yeah.
Maybe they'll have another, 2-minute trailer that they had at E3. Where they'll show two more worlds, basically, where they'll show Big Hero 6 and then whatever maybe world they announce at that event or something.
Would be interesting, yeah. I mean, I think you were saying, Nick, that there's, I think 3 more conferences, so there's basically almost one every month, I think, except for November, did you say?
There's TGS in September. October, I don't think there's anything. Yeah. November, we have D23, of course. December, I mean, I guess they could be at PlayStation Experience. I don't think that's a high possibility, and I don't know of any other events in December.
Yeah, there's not much. So, I mean, basically what I was thinking, they'll probably announce something at TGS, because Square in general seems to have
always is at TGS.
Well, it's not only is that they're always at TGS. This year they seem to have a lot at TGS.
Well, that's also what they said about Gamescom.
Yeah, true. This is I think I'm a bit more optimistic for this, because there's a lot of stuff that they kind of said, like, oh yeah, you'll hear more about it in the fall.
Yeah.
Basically almost all their E3 announcements, like the Nier stuff, the Setsuna stuff, the Star Ocean stuff, and things like that. And then, of course, D23, I think we can expect something... I'd say something more than what we got at this D23, for sure.
Yeah, but I'm really glad to see Disney kind of acknowledging Kingdom Hearts more, and I think that it takes us into the next thing that they did about Kingdom Hearts at D23. But I think that Disney might have just realized that the Kingdom Hearts fandom is pretty big. I mean, maybe not the dedicated fans like ourselves that are registered on a Kingdom Hearts website and live and breathe this game, but a lot of people play Kingdom Hearts. It's a really popular series, and I think Disney is finally taking note of that. Part of me hopes that kind of speaks to Kingdom Hearts in the Disney parks. There have been huge fan movements and pressure on Disney to add it to the parks, so maybe Disney is taking note of that. But their next thing was that Kingdom Hearts will finally be added to Disney Infinity. There have been rumors about this for a while now, and a lot of fans have said that they would really like to see it. They revealed it. It's very small, though, the way that they revealed it.
Yes.
They showed Mickey in his Kingdom Hearts 2 costume, which I think is only available to people that actually attended D23.
Yeah,
but
selling for $500 on eBay now.
Yes.
What I checked.
And I think that everybody will be able to get the Keyblade weapon.
Yes.
So
the Keyblade, the Keyblade is what they call Ultimate Unlock, which in previous Disney Infinity games, you get the Ultimate Unlock when you have unlocked all the figures for that iteration of Disney Infinity.
Okay.
So the past Ultimate Unlock was a lightsaber, which that eventually turned into Disney, as we see this year with Disney 3.0, where it has an entire Star Wars dedicated thing to it.
Exactly. So I think it's a real possibility that Disney Infinity 4.0, maybe it won't be the Kingdom Hearts Disney Infinity, but I think that we can hope for Kingdom Hearts characters. Yeah, a few figures. Which would be awesome. I don't play Disney Infinity, I'm not into it. I have a friend that's been on the border of buying it for a year now. Maybe this will push him into it finally.
I don't play Disney Infinity either. I think
I just feel like I'm a little too old for the whole buy figures and put them on my transition pad. I don't even know what it's called, but but that's if you play Disney Infinity and you're my age or older than me, don't feel any hate.
But it does. I don't play it either. But if they did produce Kingdom Hearts figures, I may be tempted just to buy one.
I would buy the figure, not
because
the
it's
game.
it's $12. It's a $12 figure. That does stuff in the game, but yeah, I'd be tempted to buy the figure, just the figure itself.
I have the game, but I don't really understand it, so I haven't been playing it. No, it's I don't know.
This
I
is
feel
for 6-year-olds, Cal.
Yeah, I know, and people keep telling me that, but I feel like that my sister
Disney
just skipped
Skylanders.
all of the instructions. I know, but I don't understand how, what you're supposed to do or anything like that.
Disney
so,
Infinity
I should learn.
Disney Infinity is this weird thing where it is a rudimentary action platformer thing, Skylanders or any other like games that are sort of aimed at kids, where it's just this simple actiony platformy type thing.
Yeah, I think unfortunately a lot of people looked at it and thought like, oh, Disney Smash Brothers, and that's of course not what it is.
The other part of that game though is the toy box, which is a almost Minecraft-y thing where you're making these environments and you're making these things and having the characters and environments and objects and stuff like that in it.
Direction. You know? Like something to follow.
This is why games should come with instruction manuals.
Exactly.
They all do.
No.
They're all digital now, though. That's
okay,
the thing.
all right. Glenn, what were you trying to say?
I have Disney Infinity. I haven't played it a hell of a lot, but I got it for my birthday about a month ago from my parents. So given they gave a 22-year-old Disney Infinity, it really says a lot about the opinion my family has of me. But
honestly,
it's only 2.0, and the moment I heard about Disney Infinity for Kingdom Hearts, possibly, I would have just about screamed for joy if it wasn't for the fact that I haven't had my voice for the last week. But oh my god, I feel like this is the next video game to send me broke. So
yeah, those figures.
I think me and Nick were talking about this, but the Ultima Unlock, like, or Ultimate, I say Ultima because I'm thinking of Keyblades now, but you need to get all 34 figures, but I have a lot of money for this. And what I was thinking was basically what you need to do is find your Disney friends or even your online Disney friends and just, send around your figures to everybody. And when everybody unlocks all 34, everyone gets their figures back, and then you can unlock the Keyblade.
Cal is all of a sudden
thinking for it. Yeah.
Cal is gonna start like a Disney Infinity figures drug ring soon.
Exactly.
And just like circulate them amongst people.
Cal, you have to hook me up. You have to.
But yeah, it's nice that it seems Kingdom Hearts is going into other Disney
properties,
ventures and stuff like that, because as just a recent news thing that was posted with John Vignacchi, he was talking about how Kingdom Hearts is a Disney property, so it's nice that as you've been saying, that they're finally like, hey, we can actually utilize this property more than just these games that get made.
Yeah, I think that statement that, Kingdom Hearts is a Disney property shocked a lot of people, because it's always been treated as like Square made this really lucky deal with Disney and they're just like making games. And now it seems like it's kind of tipping in the favor of Disney, where like this is a Disney venture and Square is just kind of like the partner in it.
Yeah.
And that's interesting to see, because that's definitely not been the case over the years for the Kingdom Hearts series. If we want to move along into like general D23 stuff, none of it is super interesting, but I don't know if you guys want to add Big Hero 6 or Disney Infinity stuff. No, okay. Disney is expanding their parks.
Yes,
which is probably the biggest
excited.
News for me besides the Kingdom Hearts stuff. Probably the biggest for me is that they will be adding a Star Wars area to both Disneyland and Disney World. And it sounds interesting. I think they were getting like 2 or 3 rides in each one, which is a lot.
They said the expansion for both parks will be 14 acres.
Yeah, that's big
stuff. That is pretty big. And it's funny because I think just last week I was talking to you, Cassie, about how there's a thing where Disneyland has just bought some property near it.
Yeah, and you said they were building like office buildings.
Yeah, no, what the thing is, because like the entire like office and like backstage stuff at Disneyland takes up about half the park.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like right next to Disneyland. So it seemed like they were going to move all that stuff and move it to this newly purchased stuff and use that opened up land to do, well,
something.
I guess Star Wars now. Star Wars and other stuff with it, which that's cool. Like it's cool that they're actually expanding that park, because unlike Disney World, Disneyland is in like it was already, when Disneyland first opened, it was already in a city where there's like stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike Disney World, where they bought just a bunch of land because there wasn't too much in Orlando at the time.
There still isn't that much in Orlando.
Yeah. So like Disney, they have like for Disney World, they have like, look at all this land we can probably still buy and do stuff with. Whereas land, it's always been like, well, we have to work within the confines of, like, there are people living here.
Yeah.
There's a school, like, 2 blocks down the street. So, but still, it's nice that they are actually expanding and, like, opening up new attractions, and having a Star Wars thing is just great. Like, I'm really excited for that.
Yeah. Disney World, their Hollywood studios will also be getting Toy Story Mania. I was talking about this with my sister, who I take my Disney trips with, and we both agreed that it's kind of a weird thing to add a Toy Story area to the parks, especially because this news came out a little bit before the Star Wars thing, so we didn't know about the Star Wars thing. We're like, why would the Star Wars thing not be a part of this? But yeah, it's a weird choice. I guess that they are making more Toy Story movies now.
Yeah,
and
there's a 4th one coming out.
Yeah, and one of the biggest rides at Hollywood Studios is the Toy Story shooting gallery.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called exactly.
Yeah, that's... Cause that thing is at... It's not at Disneyland, it's at California Adventure here, and...
It's a fun ride.
Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting that they are,
just like of all the things, it seems weird that they would choose Toy Story. But, whatever. Toy Story, I like Toy Story. They discussed some of their plans for the Avatar area of
I'm sure you are really excited about that.
I don't feel good about the Avatar area. I feel a little bit better, honestly, after hearing some of their plans, because they don't seem hyper-specific to Avatar. They seem more in line with, like, the whole vibe of Animal Kingdom. I do think that it's also a very practical business decision, because Animal Kingdom, first of all, it's hard to get people to go there at all. Like, that's the park that I skip when I go to Disney World. But it's also hard to keep people there at night, because they have to close earlier for the animals. But the Avatar area of the park will allow them to keep the park open a little bit later. And that is, of course, a business thing for them. So, I mean, I am a little bit more interested to hear about their Avatar plans. And then finally, they are going to continue to ramp up their Frozen appearance in Epcot. I am not happy about this. I think we all knew, of course, that Frozen was going to be added to the Disney parks given its wild success. But Epcot, I don't think, is the place for that. Epcot is a lot about the history of these countries and the World Showcase. That for Frozen to take over the Norway Pavilion is really sad. They took out Maelstrom to add a Frozen boat ride, and I'm sad about that. So, I mean, fine, add Frozen to the Disney parks, just don't put it in my Epcot area. They are going to, so whatever, but...
Yeah, like, I mean, obviously I've never been to Disney World, and so I haven't been to, like, Epcot and all the other stuff, but... Yeah, that seems like a weird...
It just sounds to me that the Norway history and kind of looking at Norway as a country and its culture is going to be replaced by Frozen. And, like, yes, Frozen does have relations and ties to...
I mean, it does take place in Scandinavia.
Yeah, so. And it does take from Norwegian mythology and everything, but it's not a look at Norway as a country by any means. I mean, I guess you could say, like, the Mexican boat ride also doesn't have a ton to do with Mexico historically or culturally, but whatever. Yeah. And then finally, Disney talked about a lot of their movies. I don't think there was anything super substantial out of here. A little bit before the podcast, we said that it was stuff that we kind of already knew, and then maybe just, like, a little bit more information. I am happy that we did get our first look at, I don't know how to say it, Mona? Or Moana?
Moana?
Sure.
I think it's Moana.
Moana? That's just what I've heard people say, so I don't know. It's saying Moana, and we were just like, that doesn't sound...
I mean, it that sounds Hawaiian, at least.
It does, but I don't know. It sounded kind of weird just to say. I don't know what it actually is, though. Maybe I could find a clip of somebody saying it, but
I'm sure we'll find out eventually, or somebody will correct us in the comments. But we did get our first look at her, and I'm really happy about it. She doesn't have that super, like, tangled frozen face look. She looks to be well proportioned body wise, so I am really excited for that movie and to hear more about it. We did get release dates or windows for a lot of things, and a lot of things are a lot sooner than I would have expected. And probably the one that I'm most salty about is that they're going to continue with the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland movie franchise. And Calxiyn
Misty.
Okay, I have not...
I mean, I'm not, like, a super Alice in Wonderland fan. I'm just curious. I'm not gonna, like,
I have
I
not
don't know,
seen
shame you.
the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland. I really like Alice in Wonderland, and I was really into Alice in Wonderland around the time that the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland thing was happening, and in the books, they are very clear that adults cannot go to Wonderland, and one of them even includes, like, a mention of Alice as an old woman and saying how she has these fond memories of her time in Wonderland, but how she can't go back. So, just on a, I guess, loyalty to the books, I don't like the idea of an adult Alice going there. I am not a Tim Burton fan, and so that affects it.
I'm the same way with that. So.
I really just need to break down and, like, get over this weird grudge and watch the movie. I don't think that I'm going to be wowed by it or anything. It just seems like a weird thing to continue, because I don't think that the movie was a huge success either.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure how well that movie did or not.
Yeah, just like of all the things, that was something I never wanted to see again. But it's coming to theaters in 2016, too, which is surprising, because I don't think I've ever heard anything about it being continued before this.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Those are the only movies I'm thinking. I mean, Star Wars did have an appearance. I will say that John Boyega looked super fly at D23. He pulled off white tie, white shirt, white jacket like nobody's business. But
that dude is I'm excited.
Him.
Yeah.
I really need to
really
watch Attack the Block.
Yeah.
But yeah, so other than that, I didn't get any big feelings about the Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, they announced the episode 9 director.
Yeah.
Which, like, it's the guy who did Jurassic World.
Yeah, and I didn't love Jurassic World, so... Yeah, but then they just have weird choices in directors, because the one for episode 8 is the guy that did Looper, which, who the hell saw that movie, and I did not hear good things about it.
Movie.
You love that movie?
Much.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Wasn't Hayden Christensen in it?
I didn't like that movie.
Am I thinking of the right movie? Anakin Skywalker, was he in it or not?
I know who he is.
Was he in it?
I just don't remember who was in there.
Oh, okay.
Everyone knows who he is. Come on, go.
But yeah, so I don't know really what the dealio is with that, but I love Star Wars, and I even love Star Wars when it's terrible, so, you know, whatever. But other than that, I think that's pretty much D23.
yeah. Pixar showed off a few of their posters for upcoming movies.
There was Gigantic.
As we mentioned, they have Toy Story 4 has a release date of summer 2017. They also showed off they also showed off posters for Cars 3, which I don't know. I don't know who wanted that. They also
did apparently.
But they also showed off a poster for Incredibles 2, which that's pretty neat, I think, because I it's been a long time since I've seen the Incredibles movie, but I thought it was a pretty neat movie.
Yeah, so. Incredibles. Oh, Looper. Oh, I'm thinking of Jumper.
Oh.
2 different movies.
Yeah, let's see. The guy who's directing episode 8 also directed a few episodes of Breaking Bad.
Oh, which episodes?
Ozymandias.
Oh, shit.
51 and Fly.
Oh, man. Okay, I'm happy. All right. Yeah, on board for it. Good. All right.
Yeah.
I'm a very big Breaking Bad fan, if you guys didn't know that before this. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, what we do now, yeah.
What were we talking about? Oh, Pixar.
Pixar. But yeah, they basically announced, like, oh, here's, I guess, sequels to stuff, which that's okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they do have Gigantic. That's original.
Yeah, that is true. It just, I mean, they're, as long as they're still doing original stuff, I'm happy and stuff. But like doing a bunch of sequels is kind of like, well, cool, I guess.
Yeah.
But...
So that's D23. Let us know your thoughts on Big Hero 6, what worlds maybe you want to see announced next, and of course Disney Infinity. Will this compel you to finally pick up the game? And yeah, so we can move along to user-submitted questions. Cal, would you like to do my spiel?
Oh, yay. Okay, I need like a
deep breath.
Yeah, take a deep breath, maybe take a sip of water.
Alright, let's see how this goes. To submit a question to the KH-Vids Podcast, all you have to do is fill out the form links that are in every episode of the podcast or send an email to podcast@KH-Vids.Net. The questions can be directed to the host in particular or the group in general, and they can be about Kingdom Hearts, KH-V, or our lives outside of the website and anything like that, so please send us a question.
Better job than I could have done.
Yeah! All right. The first question comes from Graxy, and he asks, what awaits within the darkness beyond time? The words darkness beyond and time are all capitalized, so I'm thinking he might be referring to something specific.
Xehanort?
It sounded like a Kingdom Hearts thing.
Oh, it is a... Wow, why didn't I know this?
Chrono
It's a Chrono Trigger thing.
I was gonna say darkness and maybe some dragons, but...
I'm trying to... It's been such a long time since I played Chrono... Oh, it's from Chrono Cross. That's even worse. Because I played Chrono Cross once when it was released, and that was in the 90s, or early 2000s. Anyway, it was a long time ago.
So as far as obscure references go, Graxy has been keeping his streak going.
The Darkness Beyond Time is the final wastebasket for timelines nullified by time travel.
That sounds exactly like Kingdom Hearts.
It can be accessed physically as a place and serve the home of the Time Devourer. Okay, so it's been such a long time since I played Cross, but it sounds like that's like the final area, because Chrono, if you don't know, Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross are very focused on time travel and going through
that
timelines.
would make sense. Chronos.
And the entire stories, the entire story of both of them involve like going back in time and changing timelines and going into the future and changing stuff. So yeah, okay. What was the question again? What lies beyond?
What awaits?
What awaits beyond?
Awaits in the darkness beyond time.
What awaits? Well, according to my description, all timelines converge at once at this place.
I'm just picturing, like, the Salvador Dali painting,
Yeah.
what is it called? The Perstencia of Memoria, something like that.
Yeah.
Something Spanish, but, yeah, that's what I'm picturing, basically.
All time happens simultaneously and not at all.
That's a cool quote. What is that from?
That I just made that up right
Oh,
now.
boy. All right. Okay, the next question... The next question is from Scarred Nobody, and he says, if it doesn't rub the lotion on its skin, what will happen to it? What?
Why?
Ew.
Do you not know where that's from?
No.
Oh, it's from Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
I will say it's a good movie. It's kind of disturbing, but I really enjoy that movie. But that's what was that. I'm just really out of it. What was the question again?
If it doesn't rub the lotion on its skin, what will happen to it?
I'm trying to remember the rest of that quote.
I was gonna say eczema.
I think it's some. I want to say it gets the hose again. That's another movie that I haven't seen in quite a while. I think it's on Netflix. I should watch it again. I wonder how many people here have actually seen Silence of the Lambs.
I have not gonna lie, I thought he was asking if you don't rub lotion on your skin, like if you just put lotion on your skin and just leave it there instead of rubbing it in so you have like a lotion pile, what'll happen to it? I thought this was a more normal question, apparently it wasn't.
Yes. Rub the lotion on the skin or else it gets the hose again. Okay. My memory isn't all that terrible then, if I actually remember that part. I know because you guys haven't seen that movie, but that's kind of one of the more, I guess, memorable scenes in that movie with that quote. So, but,
Ew.
Yeah, it's a weird scene. I will say that it's a weird scene. And going by what that sounds like, just taking it without any context to why that's being said, I'm curious about what you think that scene is.
I mean, it's a movie about a cannibal, so I don't want to know.
Okay.
And finally, I think we're through my table topics stack that I have, but I found the same list that Nick used with 365. So because Glen is our guest, I'm going to let him choose a number between 1 and 365, and that is the question we'll do.
Apparently that was something both Plums and Cal couldn't do because I had to limit it to a range last time.
What? They couldn't pick a number or what?
Pick a number, I don't know.
Just pick
1 and 365, right?
Yes, yeah.
333.
Okay, let's see. All right. I don't like this question. Pick another one.
Will you tell
I'm
me
not
it
sure if
is
you're being
first?
serious or not.
There's a few kind of not good questions.
It's just like
on
dumb.
that list.
What confuses
It
you?
is 78.
78. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. 78. All right. Oh, this what? This one is dumb too. Is it more important to
Oh
do
my
what you
gosh.
love or love what you are doing? They're the same goddamn thing. Choose another one.
Yeah, this list isn't the best. We should find another one.
It's fine. We'll just go through them until we get
I
a good
am
one.
going to be super mature and just choose 69.
All right.
Yeah.
The sex number. Oh
Is
boy.
it about sex?
No.
What gives your life meaning?
Could that be any more like...
Number 69. Well.
That's...
I'm gonna decline to comment.
Really? You're not going to say what gives your life meaning?
There's absolutely no answer that I could possibly...
This is going... By the way, this segment is going just the best.
Swimmingly. What gives your life meaning, everybody?
Pardon?
These are dumb questions.
Yeah, don't
Okay,
pick
another
well,
one.
These are dumb questions.
Are we
I
not
mean,
mature enough for this?
I guess the monthly meetings with my lord and master, the cult leader of the roleplay arena. You know, no, I don't know, just trying to like trying to get through days and stuff, and then trying to make a difference to people, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, this question is just dumb in that is so vague. And so, like, you can say anything and that will probably fit. That, I don't know.
Well, say something, Nick.
Well, why don't you say something?
I'm composing myself.
PG
Cal or Nick, come on, you gotta chime in.
The podcast gives my life meaning.
Oh boy, that is not a real answer.
You said to just chime in.
Okay,
I mean,
fine.
it's better than the RPA cult mention again. Not gonna lie, I was waiting for that, but
You think it's a joke, don't you?
Oh, what? I don't know. Maybe I'm not important enough to get invited to the secret RPA cult meetings. But I don't know. Well, KH, a lot of things on KHV give my life meaning. So
Aw.
yeah, there. That.
This is a stupid question. This is a stupid question.
And Al's gonna probably be mad that I didn't mention him. So yeah, Al too. So there.
Okay. So we're just gonna, we'll just move along.
This is a stupid question. And Cassie isn't even going to answer this stupid question.
I mean, do you want, like, the serious answer or
It's
the
up to you.
immature answer?
Do you want to say one and then save the other for another time?
I want to just not talk about the other on this podcast at all. There are some things that just should not go sit on the podcast.
Oh, and you wanted me to chime in?
Yeah, okay,
When
okay.
you know full well.
Real answer, and I feel like we've talked about the meaning of life on the podcast before, but, yeah, on the KH-Vids Podcast, we talk about mortality and the meaning of life. Okay. The meaning of life for me is just to positively influence other people and other people's lives. I want to die and have people say, yeah, I'm happy that Cassie was in my life and that kind of thing. And the meaning of life, I think, also is to achieve some sort of immortality. I have been very obsessed with that lately, which is a little frightening. My mortality. Yeah, it's a focus of a lot of things that I've been reading lately and just thinking about lately, that idea of, like, leaving your mark and being remembered and having some kind of living testament of yourself. And so I think that part of life's meaning is to do that, to exceed your own lifespan and do that. But the touching lives thing is a big part of it too,
Yeah.
and that's a big reason that I want to be a teacher. To be able to influence people at such, like, a young and vulnerable, that sounds weird, because it is such, like, a confusing time in your life. So a lot of people, I would hope most people have a teacher that they can say really helped guide them and really positively influence them in that period of their life.
Yeah.
So see, I can do serious answers.
I mean, if you want
sometimes,
my
too.
serious answer to that, it's sort of along the lines of what you did, except instead of being a teacher and trying to influence, kids and teenagers that are kind of going through a weird time in their life. I kind of want to do that through kind of more through entertainment means, where it's sort of like, because I want to, I do make video games, but I want to actually make like video games and like a more, I guess, more proper than just these things I make in a garage or something like that. But I've always wanted, it's one of the reasons I've always wanted to make them, because I've always wanted to just like make people, entertain people, and have them like enjoy something when maybe they're at a point in their day or life or something where things are just kind of shit for them.
Yeah.
So to give them something to sort of like make them feel good about themselves, or make them enjoy something, or get enthralled in something that I've made or something.
And I think that we can fit the podcast into that. Like, it sounds cheesy, but it is true. Like, I think it was on episode number 100. Alex said like his favorite thing about the podcast is being able to like look forward to it every week and have that familiar thing. And I love the idea of that people kind of look forward to the podcast coming out every week and hear us talk about things that they care about, maybe get their own voice heard on the podcast through the ways that we let people participate in it, and just kind of feel that connection with fellow Kingdom Hearts and video game fans. I would hope provides kind of that idea that we're creating something that people like and want to listen to. Yeah. See, we made it serious. So next up is community news. Yeah. Next up is community news and projects. I don't have anything specific to talk about here other than we talked about making some changes to the guest system on the podcast, because we are notoriously bad about getting guests on the podcast.
That's all of it our fault, by the way.
It is 100% our fault. Mostly mine. Mostly mine. So one of the ideas that we talked about, and I still, we have to hammer out the details of it and just decide if it's feasible or if it'll work well, is making a special subforum that you get access to when you apply to be a guest on the podcast. And then a few days before we record every episode, we'll give as much notice as we can. We'll say, like, this is what we're going to be talking about this week. This is the day. This is the time. Who is available for it, and let you guys post. I don't want to do it on a first-come, first-served basis. I don't think that's fair. I think that would let the people that, like, sit on KH-V all day, and reply immediately.
Obviously, we would still need to work out the details, but it would be on okay, here are all the people who are interested in this, and then we'll choose from that group.
Yes. Yeah.
Of
and
people.
There's a lot that I take into Yeah, there's a lot that I take into account when choosing a guest. I like to find people that have chatted about that topic on the forums a little bit, if possible. Like, if there are people in the Big Hero 6 thread talking about it and being in Kingdom Hearts, that's somebody that I would want to be on, like, a Big Hero 6 podcast. People that have not been on the podcast before, of course, I would want to get on the podcast. People that have been active on the forums, that kind of thing. So there's a lot that goes into it, and that's kind of what we would consider more so than, like, whoever replied first. But that is an idea that we had. So if you think that sounds like a cool idea, definitely do let us know. I know a lot of people might not check the forums regularly, and that's fine if that's you. We do offer the option to let you watch a forum, and you can receive alerts just on the website, or you can have them sent to your email inbox, so you could get an email notification every time that podcasts like Who Wants to Be a Guest thread is posted. So I think that it's an idea that has a lot of promise, and we'll look at the specifics of it soon. But yeah, so letting you guys know that is a possibility. Anything that you guys want to bring about in terms of
I want to plug in the user awards, because Plumps was here the last, I think, 2 times that we had it. So cycle 4 of the user awards is up, and there are a lot for this one, so go vote. I see a lot of people voting, which makes me happy, and I'm sure Plums is happy too. So good job, guys.
Also, who joke nominated me for nicest member?
You being nice to somebody is...
I'm nice to people. I just have along the way.
I'm just joking around with you. I think you are a very nice person.
Aww.
I got so confused by the user awards this year.
Why?
I was nominated for both most likely to be a hero and most likely to be a villain.
Well, that means that the choice is in your hands. Do you want to be a hero or
I
a
won
villain?
both of them.
Well, then you could be a really good, like,
So,
gray...
I guess, regardless, like, either I'm going to save the world or you guys are really screwed. And
walk the middle path.
Style is anything to go by. I would start packing your stuff and saying your goodbyes.
Yeah. Any
the other thing,
news?
I do want to mention, yesterday, you may or may not have noticed,
Nick messed up the site.
I was trying to downplay that aspect of it.
I know.
But yes, we experienced some errors on Kingdom Hearts vids. It all should
freak problem.
It all should be fine and fixed now. But there has been a thread made to kind of document that, and if you experience any like huge discrepancy with your account or anything else that kind of relates to the site, please do make note of it, and we'll kind of get a look at that and try to get that working fine again.
Yep.
But yes, I do want to mention that because
he broke the site. It happens to all of us. We all have to do it. Yeah, okay. So there are a lot of ways to participate in the KH-Vids podcast. You can submit to be a guest on the KH-Vids podcast by filling out the form linked with every episode of the podcast or send an email to podcast@KH-Vids.net. You can submit a question to the KH-Vids podcast by filling out the form linked with every episode of the podcast or send an email. Did I confuse those? I confused those. I messed up. Maya culpa. Damn. Maya culpa.
You could have fooled me. It sounded okay to me.
Didn't. It's not okay.
I guess that's just how much I just drown that out. Just
Thank
like,
you.
oh, yeah.
I really want to know that.
You're welcome.
To submit a question to the KH-Vids podcast, all you have to do is fill out the form link to every episode of the podcast or send an email to podcast@KH-Vids.net. The questions can be directed towards the host in particular or the group in general. To apply to be a member guest on the KH-Vids podcast, all you have to do is fill out the form link to every episode of the podcast. All you need is a Skype account, a microphone, and headphones, and we would love to have you. You can submit a topic to the KH-Vids podcast by filling out the form linked in the sticky in the podcast section. Tell us what you want to hear us talk about, suggest spoiler cast for us to do, anything like that. And of course, you can leave a comment on every podcast thread, letting us know your thoughts on the episode. Let us know what you want to think about Big Hero 6 and what you want to see in Kingdom Hearts 3, and answer our user-submitted questions. So, that about concludes episode number 102 of the KH-Vids podcast. Thank you all for listening.